What's good, everybody? Actually, I'm still trying to get a couple of my stuff straightened out. Welcome to the Forge Power Universe. Elsewhere. Situation. What's up, Sayru? What's up, Steve? What's up, Ali? What's up, Roston? Alice is out. She's out. Gotta upload something real fast. That's when it's kind of. Another thing is I had to add a last minute topic because I seen something, that came through like the last second. I'm like, yeah, I gotta report on that. Cat Williams is caught up in some kind of allegations up in South Haven, Mississippi, right? And it's crazy. South Haven is literally like 5 minutes. What the places they're talking about? It's like 5 minutes from me, damn it. Well, maybe not 5, like 10 probably. The point is, it's pretty damn close. And I seen that come in last minute like that. I'm like, yeah, definitely gotta add that. So actually, we're gonna have 5 topics today, opposed to the usual 4. I'm gonna have to make sure I had this better for tomorrow. Y'all don't call me lacking today. It's all good. Y'all call me like it. But anyways, um, I'm glad she good. People be trying to ruin a person's image any way they can. That's a fact. What's up, Talia? All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just dive in. And like I said, unfortunately, a little unorganized. But hey, I'm gonna push on forward. Y'all bear with me. Uh, so as I said, today we're gonna actually have five topics opposed to the normal five. So what we have is, of course, as y'all been talking about in the chat already, Alix Lapri was arrested a few days ago in Georgia, Decatur, Georgia, and it's a couple of charges. It was what are the things? Hold on. Charges is people were trying to say that she basically harmed some children. Actually, isn't true. It was more so she got into an altercation in front of a child. So that is actually the truth. And then, of course, we had Cardi B. She got her situations with her divorce. So we'll cover the divorce of Cardi B and Offset. And then we have Donald Trump back in the news. He is planning to send the National Guard to Chicago. And of course, Chicago's governor and, Illinois' governor and Chicago's mayor are threatening to, basically form a resistance to what Trump plans to do. And of course, I'm going to report on the new child support laws in Georgia. So basically, a lot of the things that was going on, that the misuse of child support, some changes is going to be coming your way. And lastly, the one that I just recently added, we have Cat Williams with the allegations that's actually tied to a murder. So those are the five topics that we have for today's morning show. Like I said, bear with me a little bit for me being a tad bit unorganized because the Cat Williams thing kind of threw me off. I tried to hurry up and edit the last second, and it kind of threw me off a little. But actually, let me go ahead and switch my camera. Switch over to the other one. Or I might actually have to go off camera for a second, unfortunately. But so basically, give me a second to knock this off. We'll go ahead and do it like this. I gotta make sure I'm recording stuff right and maybe just because I don't want to misspeak anything, get them something wrong while I'm over here. So I gotta make sure I get this thing right. All right, this is gonna be a lot better. You say you over Cardi? What Cardi do? All right, so let's go ahead and head to the very first one. As I said, Alix Lapri. So, as we know, like I said, a lot of y'all has already started talking about it in the chat. Actress and singer Alix Lapri, better known for her role as Effie Morales, Power. She came in season 6 of the original Power, and of course she starred in Power Book 2 Ghost. She was arrested earlier this month in Decatur County, Georgia. So basically, on August the 18th of this month, she was booked into the DeKalb County Jail shortly before 5 p.m. She faced 2 charges: third-degree cruelty to children and disorderly conduct. Now, the third-degree cruelty to children is basically the part that everyone is, bumping their gums about. And the problem is that most people don't know what third degree cruelty to children is. So the moment, and I'm not gonna lie, at first, I actually raised my eyebrow to it, but I had to do some research on it. Because when you first read it, you're thinking that, oh, she harmed some child. That's gonna be the first thought in your head if you're unfamiliar with what that charge is. But basically, it's saying that she was in a fight in front of a child. So no, Miss Effie Morales isn't involved with harming a child. So for those of y'all who believe that and has started that isn't the case, she just, who knows? Effie may have been putting them hands on somebody that was doing something to a child. Who knows? See, y'all used to talk that noise, talk about whether Effie. I remember DeMarcus, I believe you was talking shit one day, talking about whether she fight. See, my girl said she do this in real life. She don't play that shit. She doing this in real life. So, you know what I'm saying? That actually, as far as the full details, unfortunately, that hasn't been released yet. So we don't really know what happened. But one thing is for certain: the fact that she was charged with third degree. The fact that she was charged with third degree cruelty to children means she didn't harm a child. That is for certain. So we can get that out of it. Also, I want to share because, once all of this was going on, a bunch of rumors were starting to circulate of people thinking, oh, she harmed a child, she did this, oh, she did. Because like you said, Ghostin, people love to slander people's name without even knowing the truth. Unfortunately, that is the world that we now live in. So, of course, I know y'all said 50 and Courtney is going to protect her. Yeah, some of her colleagues in the Stars Network, other actors and stuff like that, has definitely already started to, let they word be known, like Michael Rainey, Gianna Piavolo. They have already came out and, started backing her, letting people know that, she indeed, as you can see here's Michael's statement. He says, on the real though, y'all got to start reading before comment. She didn't hurt any kids. Y'all are hoping that's the case so bad. That's crazy. SMA. So there's more confirmation on what I was saying, And also you can see Wizard, Wiz Khalifa. I believe this is Wiz, if I'm not mistaken. Wizard, it's Wizard California, whoever this is. Anyways, boy, it is. This person also said it. For all the misunderstood. Third degree murder. I said murder, god damn, I'm so used to being murder. Anyway, third degree child endangerment means she got into it with somebody physically in front of children, more than likely. And I'm pretty sure, but based off the research I did, that is what the case is. And also, your boy Gianni also just put it out there. Mugshot fine as fuck. And then of course Michael co-signed it. He ain't lying though. He ain't lying though. So yeah. So just putting it out there because it's crazy. Yesterday night in the live, the after hours, we were saying because you guys actually brought this to my attention. I was actually unaware of this for a while. But you guys brought it to my attention that she was arrested. And I was like, really? When we got off, I did a little bit more research and found out exactly what the situation was, and apparently this is what it is. She just got into it with somebody, one of a child, and unfortunately was arrested for this. So this here is nothing serious about people. It's going to be a slap on the wrist, and then go on by your way. So to be honest with you, it's not too big of a deal. Just people making something out of nothing because people just love drama. I don't know why people, prey on people's downfalls so much in today's society, but that's just medication. It's not really too serious, and people really need to let it go. Let's see what these comments are saying. Oh, I'm not each. Cardi B stayed in the news. Which situation is worse, food meat or Alix Lapri? Are you talking about the meat situation at the airport? If that's the case, definitely meat. One thing, that little nigga was ready. That nigga was snitching. First of all, that nigga was snitching already. And then on top of that, he basically showed us how much of a punk he really is. He's like, oh, look, I'm a minor. I didn't even pack my bag. And if you remember, Michael was absolutely making fun of this nigga. He was on his ass after he did that. So, absolutely, that's much. Somebody tried her and she took it. Yeah, that's what I believe happened. Yeah, and he snitched on his homeboy. His homeboy actually put a statement out and said, he don't mess with him no more because he can believe that he was so willing to just snitch on him. I remember that situation. She might not be in Vegas because of this situation. No, that's not going to affect her at all. I'm telling you. This is not a serious allegation. Now, if it was what people were alluding to, that she was harming people, putting their hands on them, or any kind of situation like that, then yes, it could potentially affect it. Just because she got into a fight while the child was around, that'll just get brushed over. Not this. As I said last night, niggas tried to crucify Alix. Say the smoke were empty. Right. This day and time will help her stay on. Yeah, but I'm telling y'all, she's good. That's just gonna come. All right, we got a super chat from DeMarcus. I appreciate that. It says, welcome to the Force Power Universe. John Ellsworth, Nikki O'Sullivan, aka Detective Gus Paul, and Branford Moody as law enforcement. Who the hell is actually that? This is a power force situation, And yeah, like they said, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. Of course, that helps with the algorithm. Push the video so other niggas can see it. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead. Oh shit. We're gonna go ahead and head to the next topic. And that is That is Cardi B. Of course, she has that situation, toxic situation going on with her husband, soon to be ex-husband, Offset. And the thing is, I don't. They hella toxic. And then the thing is that the sad part with situations like this is a lot of the times they don't consider, you know what I'm saying, how this could affect the children. Like, sure, yeah, you're thinking you're having a happier life and stuff like that. But in actuality, in reality, people, these situations hurt the children a lot because, as they know, it's been proven too many times that a successful home with two parents always turns out to be a much higher percent chance of their child's success. And the fact that they unfortunately wasn't able to hold it together could be another sad situation later. And these celebrity kids be turning out, unfortunately, hella bad, but these kids be weird. But yeah, like I said, the split of the rap sensation, Cardi B and rapper Offset relationship was filed with basically, a divorce, and is now moved into its last chapter. So basically, I think Cardi filed in July of last year, following a pattern of earlier attempt in 2020 that was later reconciled, making this separation appear to be final. Now, I'm going to also put this out here, people. I'm just going to go ahead and put this out. Actually, I'm going to share the video of what Cardi had to say first with it, which is really basically more toxic. See, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all see what she had to say with her BS. But pretty much, I don't think this thing is going to be turned out to be what a lot of folks think it is. That's just my opinion, and I could very much. Yeah, let me go ahead and share what Cardi B had to say.
It's like going through a divorce is very, very tough because you marry somebody and the person that you divorcing is not the person that you marry. You really ask yourself, like, who the fuck did I marry? Like there is no love there. There is no love. There is no love. I always feel like it's like if I ever walk away from something, like I get along with all my exes. Even if we don't talk, we never ended it on some nasty, nasty stuff. So I never wish them bad. Like, cause I don't wish them bad or nothing like that. Like, cause like it has gotten to the point that it's like, oh my God.
First off, I just want to go ahead and intervene with this situation real quick. First off, what she did with the what's his name, Stephon Diggs, was just straight up. You were smashing their mind while you was pregnant with your husband's child, bro. You have no dignity whatsoever. But hey, this is also Offset. What? Look who you married. She wasn't just no classy lady before you met her. So hey, how you expect that to change? Now, granted, Offset, they would say you was cheating and stuff like that, but still, this is my thing, ladies. If a man cheat on you, that does not give you the okay to go out there and slut yourself out. You are still a lady. So it'd be a lady regardless. I'm just saying, what y'all say. If that was the case and you want to separate yourself from him, fine. It don't mean go out there and do that. Like, it's crazy how they think it's okay for them to be able to turn on and turn off. A man can't turn off and turn on when he's supposed to be moved down. So, anyway, let me go ahead and finish more of what she had said.
Like, it's like, I feel like I really hate you. Like, you're I think I hate you. and I never wanted that. Like it's like I always be wondering, like it's like, why?
Here's another thing. I'm sorry. Why the hell do all these celebrities love to go to these popular white platforms to give out their stuff? Like, why do y'all be giving these folks all y'all information? You can't go to a black platform and give it to them so they can make money. I'm just saying, they always doing this.
Women hate their baby daddy so much. Why do people say that divorce is so tough? I feel like if the love is dead, people should just go their separate way. Something is dead,
and then he on some bullshit back in her and stuff like that. The reason why, Cardi, you shouldn't just do that is because you have children. Now, if you didn't have children, that'll be different. It's going to affect your children. And then, unfortunately, I'm sorry, ladies, but I got to keep it 100. When women are with the children by themselves, which most of the case, you know how the court system works, family court, a lot of the times at a 90% rate, they're going to give the child to the woman. Knowing good well that chance of the child going into the system, getting arrested, ending up on drugs is going to be significantly higher with just the woman. I'm sorry, but we already did the numbers. This is the truth. If it's just a man with the child has a much higher percentage chance of success. Now, of course, with both of them in the house, you have an even higher percentage. So that's why it's a big deal. Stop trying to act like it's not a big deal. It is. You have children. Children are going to miss their dad. I get it. Y'all saying, we can co-parent. Co-parenting is not the same as you both having them in the same household. They seeing y'all loving each other in front of them. It's not the same.
It is dead and it's never gonna go good. I just feel like everybody should walk away with what they came with. Just walk away. Things gonna hurt for a couple of months, but especially when there's kids, it's like we should be able to co-parent. We should be able to have a conversation. 100%. We should be able to ask each other advice and just become friends. But it's not like that. It's actually I'm going through something that is like kind of like very like, wow, this is very dark. It's not even painful. It's kind of like pain. I feel like you will feel pain when like you still got love feelings. I don't have the love feeling. I went through pain last year when the love was dying.
All right. So pretty much I had to cut that bullshit. You too much. That's cool. But that's pretty much what she had to say. Bull crap, basically. I mean, the good thing is that she wasn't straight up just trashing him that bad, like we have heard her in the past. We don't say it's really bad. Yeah, I'm aware of Offset talking about her in his album. Honestly, I didn't listen to it because I don't care about A. Drama too much. I don't know what he said, but I will say this: if he's trashing her in the album, same shit, bro. Y'all both of those. The problem is y'all have children, and this shit is going to take down the line. So, I mean, I know I seen a brief interview of Offset saying, you know, he messed it up, that he basically still loved him. I did see him admit that. So, but my thing that I was gonna say before this video that I was talking about, I don't think, me personally, I don't think these folks are gonna stay separate. I don't. I think before this divorce get finalized, they're gonna find a way to make it work and stay together. Call me crazy. That's what I believe is gonna be happening. Because this is also the thing. This is one of these rare times in a marriage where the woman actually makes more than the man. So, for one thing is that with her making more money than him, the divorce could end up, being financially devastating for her. So that's one reason why this divorce might not all end up going all the way through. Just saying. Yeah. You know how these celebrities be doing this stuff for stunts? That could be the case. Before you know it, after a while, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I just decided that this is my husband. I don't have children by him, so then we decided to just let it work it out. Offset gonna be like, that's not love. I know her. That's the love of my life. They're gonna both be on some bullshit like that. And then they gonna end up working it out. To me, like I said, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't think this shit gonna get fine. Only time can reveal it. I don't think so. All right, let's see what y'all talking about. What didn't I answer, bro? I'm not looking at the chat like that. I'm reporting news. What are you talking about? Or are you talking to Jamal? Oh, you talking to Jamal. My bad. People bring Cardi B and Offset name for clout. No point in me. Get up out of here, dude. We ain't doing anything about it. Leverage love, stage drama. Yeah. When attention is on them, it increase their chance of making more money. Sad part, they are who people. Huh? Sad part, people look up to. Yeah, that is true. People do look up to them, which I think is also insane. But look up to them. How could you look up to somebody like Cardi B or Offset is beyond me. But anyways, people, we're going to go on ahead and head to our next segment. And that is your boy, Donald Trump. That's right. Mr. 45, 47 himself. Back in the news. Of course, he's always in the news. Not only because he's the president, but of course, he is probably like I think this nigga might be the most talked about president, at least in my lifetime, ever. Possibly because I didn't pay that much attention to the presidency. When Bush, Obama, and Biden. I mean, I kind of paid attention when Biden. But they always talk about this nigga Trump. Like, this nigga Trump can't do nothing without the news. Oh, Trump was caught clipping his toenails in the Oval Office, and the nail flipped off and fell in somebody's lunch. Oh, he's a bad man for that. Why would you be clipping your toenails in front of them, knowing that post breakfast is around the corner? They'll find anything to get out this big ass mouth. But anyway, your boy, Donald J. Trump, a.k.a. 4547. Hey, speaking of which, 4547, that's a reference from, All About the Benjamins, the lottery ticket that Michael Epps had. Let me find out. They knew something ahead of time and didn't tell us. Anyways, Mr. 4547 is back in the news this time because he is planning to send the National Guard to the city of Chicago. Pretty much, as we know, he's already had a situation where he brought them out to D.C., the capital, to basically deal with the crime rate that is going on there. Of course, some agree, some disagree. And basically, I'm about to give y'all some more detailed information on what's going on with them. So, Trump is considering sending the National Guard troops into Chicago, drawing fierce pushback from city and state leaders. At a recent Oval Office event, President Trump described Chicago as a mess. He suggested that the U.S. military could be deployed to restore order, saying, quote, we may or may not. We may just go in and do it with less than 24 hours notice. This nigga Trump, boy. That nigga just wake up and decide to do some shit. Fuck, whatever. Let me go and fuck with them niggas. God. But I'm gonna also share what the orange man had to say about the situation going on in Chicago. So this is basically, it's a short little clip showing what
everybody was being killed and mugged and everything else, despite the phony numbers that were given out that it was getting better. Brian, do you believe it was getting better or getting worse?
My bad, y'all. Look at the hand motions though. That nigga was killing it right there. Hold up. Look at them hands.
Was being killed and mugged and everything else, despite the phony numbers that were given.
God damn. That boy, I don't know what's up with them hands, but that nigga be, boy.
Given out that it was getting better. Brian, do you believe it was getting better or getting worse?
Oh, the crime was getting worse. I mean, I was robbed. It was getting way worse.
Yeah. How did the other guy come out?
Well, he came out with my briefcase, unfortunately. Yeah. Robert 1, Brian 0.
Now, but can you imagine you do this and then you start hearing that they had a 20-year reduction of crime. It's worse. It was worse during the Biden administration than anybody's ever imagined possible. And I guarantee you, he wouldn't be here if those numbers continue. But now we have total safety. We have total security. And for the border, in 3 months, 0 people. These are done by liberal people that do these charts. 0 people came through our border in the last 90 days. Can you believe it? 0. Last year, we had millions of people coming in. And they came in from the Rome.
What the fuck is that in the middle of that damn dance, too? I was wondering. Like, did that nigga win an MVP from the NBA or something? What the hell is that?
Locations. They came in from, they came in, a lot of people that shouldn't be here. So now when we have this event in December, it's going to be very safe. Johnny, you can walk down the street with your beautiful wife.
Yeah.
You can take her to dinner if you can get a reservation, which I doubt.
They're all full, the restaurants.
I know. They're all full. I heard that too. The restaurants aren't, the restaurants, since we are doing this, are doing great. And many new restaurants are going to open because, as you know, many closed. Many restaurants closed because the crime was so bad. This will be one of the safest places anywhere on earth. So, I really am honored that the National Guard has done such an incredible job working with the police. And we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe.
So as y'all say, your boy, make America safe again.
We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please.
Now, as far as that statement there, I'm not exactly sure. I can't speak on Chicago. I'm not from there. I haven't been there. I haven't really talked to a bunch of people from Chicago. Oh, this is what I can say. The same thing is going on here in Memphis. I'm talking about a lot of older people has said they need to come and do something about Memphis because Memphis is off the chain. These YNs are out of control, and we just don't know how to handle them. So I did see an article that said Memphis was on the list of people that he might also send some out here for. So my thing is, what is my thoughts on this particular situation? Well, I can see this playing out a couple of ways. I mean, it could end up starting a potential civil war that could escalate. I mean, if I had to bet on it, I would say more than likely not. But it could spark one, maybe. But at the same time, these cities are out of control. Certain ones, Chicago, Memphis, St. Louis. At one time, Baltimore. I don't know if they still like that now. Yeah, these cities are out of control, and something needs to be done about the ongoing crime rate where the elderly aren't even able to go certain places without being afraid of being robbed, or some of them in some certain circumstances being fatally put to rest. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally happening, especially in Memphis. I know for sure, and I haven't seen it on camera here being done here in Memphis. So to keep it 100 with y'all, I know we have our fun and games and stuff like that on a lot of things, but I can't say I'm 100% against this. But it's just going to depend on how it's done, because something has to be done. Our neighborhoods are getting worse and worse. And like he said, if you really pay attention, I actually sat there and did some of the research and thought on this. If you pay attention, the cities that are really out of control like that are the liberal cities. That is the truth. The Democratic cities are the cities that are out of control, have very bad crime rate. Let me see what these comments saying. Trump is one of the worst presidents in the White House. Lying. He knows it will cause her too. That's why he kept cheating. Oh, okay, you're talking about that. All his antics show the mental illness of YouTube society in the U.S. White society. Yeah. Donald Trump is the most entertaining president I know. He loves to steal the. Hey, you ain't never lied about that. That's one thing I can say, bro. Hate him or love him, that you can turn Donald Trump out and find something that's gonna be funny as hell. That's a damn shot. Whether it's him with them damn hands going like that, I know y'all can't see me on camera right now, but I'm just saying. Or it's just straight up just listening to that nigga. The Biden funny as hell. When Biden was in office, I'm sorry, it was boring. The nigga didn't never have nothing. It was dry as hell. Help the root problem though in these cities. People forget that Donald Trump is an actor and entertainer. Facts. That is true. Trump just wants to abuse his power. I don't know if y'all remember, but Mickey O'Sullivan was in the Chi. He was the chief who Brandon used to work with. Okay, so this boy stop. What is this boy stop referring to? Trump is a businessman Tariq is a businessman just like Donald Trump. Which Tariq are we referring to? They built the system for this to happen in our community. So when you say they built this system for, I can't get to all these comments, unfortunately. But when you say they built this system for this to happen, who are you saying they? Because what I know is that the truth is most of the crime rates are in the Democratic cities. And to be honest with you, we can't just say, oh, it's all because of the Republicans, because Democrats has been in office at least in my lifetime. Democrats have been in office longer than the Republicans have. That's just the truth. Donald Trump said that he would make a mockery of the government and politics in the 80s. I do remember this nigga saying something. I don't know if he said necessarily a mockery, but I know he did predict something about him being the president earlier. But those are the cities that have less opportunity, suffer from redlining, etc. There are more deep-rooted issues going on, not just a Democrat. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just straight up tell y'all I'm not for neither one of them, and I'm definitely not the ones that's gonna sit up here and protect and act like the Democrats are doing the right things and the Republicans aren't. Democrats are some evil, messed up people, just like the other people that y'all hating on. B100. Joe Biden did a lot of damage to us, and he don't get nearly the amount of smoke he deserves for what he did. Same can be said for Obama. Anyways, next topic. Moving on to Georgia child support situation. Now, Georgia, as of lately, decided that a lot of child support has been getting abused as of late, and decided to put some different laws in place. I'm not sure if anybody in the chat lives in Georgia. If so, maybe y'all can you know a little bit more about this law that I'm speaking of. But they're saying what pretty much in Georgia, what factors determine the amount, how it's calculated, and recent updates affecting the families across the state. Pretty much in Georgia, child support is determined under the Georgia Child Support Guidelines, codified in the official code of Georgia 19615. This framework guides courts in calculating support obligations. So it's actually a video. It was this guy that I seen on TikTok. Pretty much was explaining a lot of this stuff that's going on. I'm gonna share that with y'all as well. If you ask me, actually, this stuff should have been put into place. It should have been some kind of laws being put in place to make sure child support isn't being abused, because it's absolutely have. I know a lot of people that's victims of it. They legit are taking care of their children, and yet they still have to pay child support. And then when they receive the child support money, they're not even using it on the children. So Georgia has decided to put a stop to the abuse of child support funds. Give me a second to load up real quick. All right, man. Looking like one of my uncles. Let me go on here and let me know what you got to say.
So Georgia just passed a law that goes in effect October 22nd, 2025 at midnight. And with this new child support law, if you are receiving child support and you, one, do not have your own place, meaning if you are not the head of household or the primary residence at that address, you are no longer required by Georgia to receive child support payments through the child support division. If you are a recipient of child support and you have moved more than 2 to 3 times within 1 calendar year, the state of Georgia is deeming you unfit and unstable. If you are paying child support to a person who does not live, well, is not the primary residence at that address, if they are receiving child support payment and they are bouncing around from place to place, you are required now by the state of Georgia to report that to child support report that to DFACS. DFACS automatically open up a 30-day case. And if the person that is receiving child support has no adequate place to stay, meaning not with your mama, not with your daddy, not with your auntie, uncle, grandma, meaning if you are not basically a responsible adult, and then if you are not fit, you are not deemed to receive child support, that's when DFACS step in. If they feel or they deem you are unfit, your children can be taken out of the home. And if the person paying can show that they have adequate housing, stability, they are more likely to get kids. This go in effect.
Now, that last part he just stated, I'm all for that part because this has been going on for quite a while. In earlier years, before the family court was changed, I can't say exactly what year this took effect, but in prior years, most of the time when a divorce was initiated, or let's just say a child was born out of wedlock, the father was granted custody of the child because they were the one with the incomes, they were the one more stable. And like I stated earlier in the Cardi B situation, fathers are more likely to parent children on his own better than women. It's just been statistically proven. So I absolutely agree with that law. If the woman is unstable with the children, and the father can prove he has a stable home for them to live in, they absolutely should go and live with their father. That's my opinion.
October 22nd, 2025. This is a real law. This is a real bill that has been passed. I'm posting everything pertaining to this whole new law all on my TikTok. So if you need or want to know more, tap in with me. Like I said, this is for Georgia and Georgia only. I don't know about any other state, but in Georgia, if you're receiving child support and you are not the primary resident, if you are receiving food stamps is going to bring your child support payment down. There's new laws that's coming, and fellas, go file for shared custody.
Now that's that part. He also had another video. I'm not going to play that one because I'm not going to try to make this segment too long. But it was also another one where he alluded to basically with the payment, they're going to be issuing a payment card and that you're not going to be able to use this money on things that's not in support of the child. So if you try to go to the liquor store and use that money for that, you're not going to be able to just withdraw or use them, swipe your card to use it. You're not going to be able to use it to get your nails done, your hair done, because there's so many of them that's doing this. Anyways, let me check this chat. I missed a lot of them on this Trump this weekend. I knew that was going to spark up something. But anyways, but those are the cities that have less. Okay, I think I read that one. Our forefathers, the government as a whole, allowed drugs, separation of family, and the wealth gathering as underserved people. We didn't start our Democrats. I'm not exactly sure. Are you saying we didn't start as Democrats? Are you saying like just black people didn't start as Democrats? If that's the case, no, we didn't. Actually, black people were Republican way back. Actually, the first Republican was Abraham Lincoln, for those that don't know that. People forget that Donald Trump was a Democrat and would run as a Republican to make America great. I don't trust none of them. Honestly, a DNA test should be required off top. It would stop the foolishness too. That is a fact. It's highly. They should have a DNA testing done at the birth of every child, because there's a lot of them that's on some child support that ain't even the father, and then they later on find out, and now they can't take back none of that hard-earned money. And then on top of that, you have now built a relationship with the child that is not yours. It's the lesser of two evils, and the Republicans do more damage to poor and middle class than the Democrats. I strongly disagree with that, but I'm not going to get into it. A DNA test should be mandatory in the hospital. I was a caseworker for child support. I made sure I told both parties all the information they needed. Honestly, government assistance was meant for the clear people and not people like us. Yeah, there's more people on government assistance, food stamps and stuff like that in, their group than us. Although, a lot of people may not think so, but yes. White people are on food stamps way more than we are. Child support and alimony all need to be revamped so it's not used as a weapon. Absolutely. Family court is a major, major problem in our community. Unfortunately, but it is a major issue because they understand that if we can keep them fighting against each other and give one of them an incentive, in this case, unfortunately it's the woman, give them an incentive to separate from their man, they'll never be able to unite to go against the real cause. We're never going to be able to overthrow and get out of the situation separated. Black man hating the black woman hating the black man. We're never gonna get out of this that way. And what's the way to do it? Hey, sister, you keep that man out of the house, I'll give you this, this, and that. Okay. And then, of course, with the rise of feminism that was pushed, of women wanting to work, be independent, that just pushed it even more. So now we're in a system where anything could just make them say, oh, I don't want my man no more. I want to go and do this. And then, of course, you divorce them. You get an incentive. You take half their money. You get to keep the kids and a bunch of other luxury things, depending on what the situation is. Now, you're basically being paid to mess up your own home if you're not even realizing it. Let me quote. I heard it all. Remember, we are still counted as 3/5 of a person. Constitution need to be open. They let other races keep their man there while receiving benefits. Not what a lot. That is true. Even the even the illegals. A lot of the illegals are on that same assistance, and of course they have their man. That our system is only in place for us because they want to keep us separated to keep the rise of the black kings and queens to return. But yeah, anyways, on to the last and final segment. Cat Williams had to add this on at the last minute when I stated. So your boy Cat Williams is unfortunately getting some heat over potential murder allegations. Now, he's not necessarily accused yet, as of yet, in my at least to my knowledge, of the murder, but it's like he's affiliated because this comedian, was basically murdered on his watch. So that's pretty much where a lot of this is coming from. And I think it's very unfortunate because what Cat Williams is for us. And of course, he's a person of truth that's been, kind of highlighting a lot of bullshit that's been going on in these Hollywood streets and just been telling it how it is. So, anytime you're that type of guy, you will become a target. But anyways, Cat Williams merchandise store in South Haven, Mississippi, recently received an eviction notice citing criminal activity on the premises, specifically referring a shooting that occurred on August 20th, 2025. The notice suggests the activity violated the lease agreement. So basically, the person that, was murdered is Reggie Curls. Reggie Curl, a comedian who was touring with Cat Williams, was fatally shot in South Haven on August the 20th, 2025. Authorities has arrested one male suspect in connection with his murder. The investigation is ongoing. The man charged was Trenell Marquise Williams, previously worked as part of Cat Williams' security detail. There's also speculation, though not confirmed by authorities, that he may be related to Cat Williams. So fellow comedian Billy Sorrells has publicly pressed Cat Williams for clarity in an Instagram Live section. He said, "Tell me why Reggie Curl died out your house. Tell us what happened to Reggie Curl." So this is kind of a serious situation. I don't think, me personally, I don't think he'll get into deep trouble about this, but it is odd. And then I just think the type of person Cat is, they'll look for something to put on him. But, as of today, Cat's not facing any formal charges. The situation remains in the early stages of investigation. But it wouldn't shock me personally, if they tried to pin something on it. I'm actually hoping and praying that it doesn't get to that. That's, of course, if, Cat Williams hasn't gotten himself involved with any kind of foul play. But I don't know, judging by this is simply outside looking in for me. I don't know him personally. I never met him, never ran into him, never even seen him in person. But, just judging by what we saw with him, listening to his interviews, of course, the explosive, Club Shay Shay interview that he had, it seems like he's a cool, genuine person. So I just don't think he'll be caught up in some shit like that. But, hey, prayers up for your boy Cat. I really hope, he don't get tied up in no kind of bullshit, especially if they're trying to make an attempt of trying to, possibly railroad him in any kind of way. Okay, so let me go ahead and look at these comments. Eagles got all the benefits, no SSN, absolutely. But I'm just saying that was under the Democrats and that shit was happening. Keeping 100. In California, shit. California, them folks were getting hella shit. Where did dude get his info from? How do we know those child support statements are good? Well, Talia, I actually looked it up before I wouldn't post the video without, seeing if some of that stuff was true. Some of the shit he's saying absolutely is true. They passing new laws. Cat Williams' birthday is coming up in 2 weeks. Okay. Well, happy early birthday to that nigga. Cat get caught up in the smoke. Cat Williams is the male version of Jack Wright. Jag, my girl, too. Yeah, I mess with Jag. Jag be on these folks' ass, too. Cat stored by Cat's bodyguard. Nah, his birthday next Tuesday. He got the same birthday as my niece. Victim accused shooter worked comedian Cat Williams sources say. They try to bash her, but all she says happened. Hey, one of the biggest things for Jag is when she was able to predict the time period that Diddy would be arrested. That was the craziest part for me. I think she actually said like maybe a year before time that he would be arrested in 2024, September 2024. And that's exactly how it happened. So that was great. She also said, which hasn't happened yet, but it seemed like, they on his heels. She said that Diddy is going to help her bring down Jay-Z as well. And she said Jay-Z is worse. So I guess we're still waiting to see if that is going to bear some fruit. Because, of course, a couple of pending, allegations happened with Jay-Z, but they were dropped. So, let's see. We're right at that, a little over an hour. So I can roll over for a few more minutes. Take up any more discussions and stuff that we want to do because I don't hold the morning show too long. Let's see. Hope she stay protected. They be trying to get her. She here in Dallas. Dang, Talia, you know who Jaguar Wright is? You look her up there. But yeah, she's a former, singer, R&B artist. She actually was under, if I'm not mistaken, I think she was under Diddy at one point. She was under the Diddler, and that's how she said she was able to closely observe a lot of the situations that was going on. She did a lot of, she did a lot of exclusive interviews and stuff, stating things that the Diddler has done. And she of course wanted him to go down, and it happened exactly the way she said. You said she can't stand Mary J. Yeah. For those who don't know Jaguar Wright, should I link some videos and articles? They really can look it up. I ain't gonna be on here too much. Him and Clive, she can't stand it. Clive is a glad nigga. See, that's the thing. It's sad that they give Diddy all the smoke. I don't want them to try to take my channel down, but this is all alleged. Clive is a glad nigga too. Clive is possibly responsible for the birth of them. This is all allegedly. Jag knows a lot about the industry. It's scary. Man, the industry is very dark. That's why I be telling people, encouraging them to try to go and, take your own path on some of this situation. Don't let, don't be so quick to want to go under somebody because these people have evil intent to control and, of course, finesse you out of money, and they keep most of it in their pocket. It's happened too many times. But anyway, it's good people. It seems like, I'm about to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I really appreciate everybody that stopped through. Once again, apologies for the unprofessionalism at the beginning of it. Like I said, I kind of was trying to rush and put in that Pat Williams statement and ran out of time and kind of, just messed some of this stuff up. But I appreciate everybody who's rocking with me. And I'm going to get ready to go ahead and close this one out. You said, am I going live tonight? Absolutely. We will be live at 11 Central Time, just like we are every other week. Yes, sir, I will be live. Lord say the same, unless something was to happen that I couldn't see coming. But just, of course, just pay attention to the community. I will let y'all know if something was to come up. Lord say the same. Absolutely, I will be live later on tonight. Appreciate the super chat of the Marcus. I believe that Tremont and Abraham could take out Marvin in Raising Canaan before I forget. Watch people use my theory. All right, DeMarcus, I'm gonna make sure I keep that in mind because I now have you down for that theory. And yeah, Tremont and Abraham, they did leave them alive as far as what we can see. We never seen them unalive, Tremont. So you might be on to something. Appreciate that, all the love, my good people. But until next time, can't wait for the movie. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna let y'all, we know who you're talking about. Yeah, of course I know. You should. Appreciate it though. Like I said, appreciate all the love. I'm gonna catch y'all in the live later on tonight.